What's up, you guys? It's the Authentic Empress. So, you are 100% proof of what it means to be in this world and not of this world. Okay. All right. There is um, an individual or individuals here who wanted you to believe that you're not as intuitive, you're not as insightful, you're not as discerning, you're not as gifted as you truly are when it comes to being able to collect this truth, having this clear cognizance of what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on in the dark. Okay, despite the obscurity, despite the surmountable amounts of veils and illusions, distortions, lies, and dishonesty, and whatever twisted strategies that these people have been trying to use to be able to do things to you, to harm you, to obstruct you, to try and trap you, turn you bitter, um, basically using some type of dark manipulations, dark magic, voodoo, whatever their choice was, right? Because mind you, you guys, these are different people for all of you, okay? So this could be any kind of form of magic, any kind of form of demonic or dark manipulation with ill intent. Okay, whether that be deceiving people directly, emotional manipulation, creating lies, false narratives. Okay, over exaggerating the truth, half truths, mixed truths, or no truths at all concerning your name, your energy, your essence. Okay, concerning whatever it is that you do. Okay, trying to twist. Okay, whatever it is that you do or say, okay, to have people perceive you as whatever this false narrative of you is, right? So you have realizations in the reverse, the moon card in the reverse, intuition in the reverse to confirm what is it that they want collective to believe about themselves. So they want you to believe that you haven't had any accurate epiphanies. You don't have valid epiphanies. You don't understand what's actually going on. You haven't experienced any type of awakenings, or you haven't launched or triggered any realizations in anybody. You haven't help give anyone epiphanies, understandings, or awakenings, right? This is what they want you to believe, okay? Now, y'all know the moon card is similar, right? The moon card is like secrets, things done in the dark, the obscurity. The moon card is also Pisces, Cancer energy, Neptune energy, right? Moon energy. So again, you you definitely have been spot on with whatever the fuck has been going on behind the scenes. But one of the main motives is to convince you that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know what's actually going on. Now, it shocked me that all these cards came out together when I asked, what do they want collected to believe? Really, and listen, I want to say this too. I went through this whole deck of cards and turned every card upright before I got started. Okay, I just prefer to do that. And literally, all three of these cards came out reverse. Realizations, the moon card, intuition, in reverse. If that's not as clear as it gets, I don't know if it can get any clearer. Intuition, heart song, telepathy, inner knowing. These are people who want you to doubt your inner knowing, who want you to doubt your telepathy, or that you've been accurately picking up on some type of telepathic plans, telepathic plots and strategies, telepathic thoughts, okay, of you, towards you, okay? This is what they want you to believe about yourself. Now, what is the reality of who you are? Sit down, Chala. What is the reality of who you are? So the reality is that you're some type of legend. You're being viewed as some type of legend here. You got a legend, bitterness in the reverse, unicorn in the upright. Now, ain't that something? So these are people. So the reality is that you're not bitter at all. Like, you know what these people have been doing. But there's something about them failing to trap your energy. You got trapped in the reverse, stuck, tied down, captive. These are people who fail to hold you captive in some type of shadows and some type of obscurity and some type of illusions and some type of lies. Okay, even if this is trapping you within yourself or within like some type of toxic ruminating uh woe is me energy. Like, this is somebody who wanted to push you, or these are energies who collectively work together to push you in a corner, to push you into this energy of being bitter towards others. Close yourself off to love. Basically, close yourself off to who you are, which includes you having some type of positive influence or impact when it comes to helping people free themselves from illusions, whether that be within their family unit, any type of community that they may be in, that they may have been encouraged, okay, to pursue. Okay. Yeah. So you're being viewed as a legend, collective. You got bitterness in reverse, resentment, anger, hurtful words. Like, you're not they want you to become like them. Okay? They want you to become like them. So with legend and unicorn, y'all know that's big energy. That's big vibes. You think about somebody being a legend, we think about like Muhammad Ali, we think about these big star names. There's something very set apart about how you handle um spiritual warfare, mental warfare, right? Emotional warfare. There's something very set apart about how you've been maintaining yourself despite and I'm getting like you guys have because you're so steadfast in this energy, you guys have been dealing with like a high currency of or high frequency of people constantly trying to attack your life, attack your foundation, attack your stability, attack your mental health because of these spiritual gifts that you have, right? Yeah. Now, let me slow down. So you have High Priestess in Snack, right? This was clarified by confusion, the Two of Swords, strength, love, and gaslight. These are people who have orchestrated for you to be gaslit. Okay, this combination of being love bombed and gaslit, right? This was supposed to distort your energy, distort your intuition and your insight. Okay, this is somebody who has a problem with the fact that you're attractive and you're somebody who's very intuitively inclined. Like, this is energies who are triggered by this. Okay, these are people who come around to get some type of update after launching something against you, and they find themselves leaving disappointed. They find themselves leaving being triggered, being in fear of what's next, or being in fear of the reality of the things that are backfiring in their life or what they're doing to you. They're seeing why it's backfiring because it's not working. They're not getting the results. So this has a lot to do with trying to overturn you internally. Like, this has everything to do with your soul frequency, okay, that these people are trying to obscure about you, okay? But you're very strong. You got the strength card. So High Priestess, Snack, confusion, Two of Swords, strength, and love, and gaslight. You know what else is triggering? There are some individuals here, or a particular individual who is really feeling some type of way because there's something about a soulmate who is falling even more for you, or their attraction is increasing towards you because of this strength, despite what people are or what energies have constantly been trying to do in your life or constantly trying to disrupt what you got going on. Like, there's something about you being headstrong. Some of you guys could be an Aries, somebody could be a fire sign or a water sign, okay? Somebody could be a Pisces, somebody could be a Leo. But yeah, like, they got a problem with how you're eating this energy. Like, they got a problem with how you're producing, like what you're doing with this coal, and um all the most like demonic material or dark material that they can possibly throw your way. They got a problem with how you're alchemizing this energy, or the fact that you're still steadfast, you're still strong within yourself, okay, despite what's being hidden from you, okay? This is not something that's weakening you. This is not something that's like pushing you or overwhelming you so much that you just completely cast out your inner knowings, your dreams, your visions, your intuitions, okay? Yeah. And they feel like it's very simple for you. Like, it's really easy for you to see this Five of Swords energy that they may been trying, that anybody is trying to plan in your life. Okay, you got Pharaoh. Okay, it's like a feral cat. It's like that wild energy. That also gives me like that free, unrestricted, unlimited, wild, intuitive insight. Like, They can't block you from the truth. They can't block you from enlightenment, the things that you need to know, okay, for your safety, for your highest good. They're unable to block this or confuse you toward it, okay? You got spying in the reverse also with this set of cards right here, right? So you got simp, the sun card, five of swords, spying in the reverse, pharaoh in the upright, podcast in the upright, okay? So you don't have to spy on your enemies. You don't have to spy on these people to know what the fuck is going on. Half of you guys have already picked up on what was going on, what was being plotted, what was being planned. You've already had a dream before all this shit unraveled and unfolded. Okay. And these are energies who feel intimidated. They feel threatened by this ability that you have. And there's something about you not giving it up. Like they want you to give up this gift, like give up this ability. Like Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Okay. So you got confessions, the fool card, and influencer. So another big highlight of this is you talking about it, you exposing it, okay, and helping others, but also exposing them by what you're revealing. Like there's something significant about you revealing the details, okay, of this five of swords energy, okay? Even this wild energy, like people taking like wild, impulsive, um, immature actions towards you. Okay, you seeing the immaturity for what it is, like you seeing right through it, right? Now, again, your haters are your groupies. Mind you, you're coming out, the reality of who you are is that you're not somebody that runs away from the shadow energy. It's almost giving like somebody walking through the valley of the shadow of death, right? But they scared as fuck and they paranoid and they looking over their shoulder and they're uncomfortable and they're jittery and now they got MS or some shit, like their nervous system fucked up. This is somebody who thought that because you were constantly being met with some type of conflict, that eventually this will disrupt your nervous system. This will drive you crazy, okay? We even had the tinfoil hat come out. It didn't come out for your energy. It actually came out for your one of your enemies here. But the tinfoil hat theory is like a person, like a conspiracy theorist, right? Somebody could have even something that you were constantly met with as well. This weapon of people trying to make it seem like the things that you speak on, the things that you reveal, quote unquote conspiracies, the fact that you're able to identify things that are intentionally being hidden and be spot on. These are people who try to lead some type of story or narrative about you using that, like, oh, you're making something more than what it is. You're crazy. You're losing your mind and stuff like that. When the whole time you were spot on. When the whole time this is the reality of this person. This is somebody who was sitting there creating these lies and quote unquote theories or trying to convince people that you're doing something to them when in actuality they're experiencing karma. But this is somebody who was trying to flip the script and make it seem like all the dark manipulations that they were doing behind the scenes is why you're experiencing some type of challenges, trials, and tribulations. But the thing is, your mind, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual sanity is still intact. And this is what they can't explain. This is somebody who resists the truth intentionally because there's no truth within them. And the individuals that they've been trying to convince to come up against you or to protect them from you or some shit like that, so that they attack you, this is somebody, these people is viewing this person as they're too prideful. Okay, they're too, it's like their head is stuck up their ass so much so that they can't even just admit the truth. They can't admit the truth. Okay. So they see this person as somebody that's very surface level. You got the fashion witch here, tinfoil hat, resistance, pride, and elusive. This is somebody who is resistant to the truth because of some type of pride. It's somebody who's prideful, and it's like whatever they're prideful about is not noble. It's not noble, right? Arrogance, ego, stubborn. Okay, this is somebody who, or these are individuals who actually secretly admire you. This is somebody who secretly admires you. Okay, period. This could be somebody who's having a hard time suppressing some type of emotions. This can be somebody who's very timid lately as well. Okay, because of their dishonesty, their deception, and their trickery. It's being seen. It's being seen. And a part of it being seen is how you're responding to everything that's being done. Okay. Again, so what's going on with these haters or with this quote unquote volunteered enemy? Again, you got red flag, 10 of swords, 9 of cups, stress, broken. There's somebody who could be overindulging to cope. Okay, but it's exposing them. Why are you needing to overindulge? Why are you so overindulgent? What are you trying to hide? What are you trying to escape? What are you trying to suppress? This is how people are viewing this person. Okay, because 9 of cups generally in the upright is like wish fulfillment, right? Okay, but for it to also be here with 10 of swords, this is somebody who could be experiencing a series of betrayals, okay? And this is backfires. This is somebody who's experiencing a significant amount of backfires that's leaving them broken. Or this is somebody who could currently be broken. But this is what the plan was for you to be broken, for you to be viewed as some type of red flag, right? For you to be overly stressed with the 9 of cups and the stress. This is somebody who wanted you to be overly stressed by some type of turbulence. Okay, this is somebody who's now being met with turbulence, tension, and arguments. Okay, there's something about how you handle this energy when somebody tried to invite you into this. You guys can even inspire others who they can have people or some type of energy vampire in their life that's constantly trying to drain them via turbulence, tension, and arguments. But something that I like to say is that it's simply an invitation. It's not an invitation you have to accept. It's an invitation. When somebody invites you into conflict, somebody invites you into drama, somebody tries to recruit you, convince you, okay, coerce you into some type of drama or conflict, you have a choice to choose to participate or not. And you guys are choosing not to participate. This is giving like somebody wanting to create some type of party, some type of celebration off your pain or off, you being confused, you being distorted, you feeling weighed down by people not believing you, by people intentionally coming up against your truth with lies. Okay, like this is supposed to drive you crazy. Like I'm telling you, you're being viewed as a legend, though. Give me one moment. All right, moving forward. And that's what it is. Like they're mad. Listen, I'm telling you, there was this huge, like the base of all this shit that these people was doing behind the scenes. They wanted you to become this angry, bitter, mad, mad at the world, hate everybody. They wanted you to become a manifestation of the complete opposite of who you are and what you're put here to be. And the reality is, this is who they are. This is who they are, and it's not something that they can hide anymore. It's not something that they can cover up with some type of fashion, cover up with materials. Like it's something about them exposing themselves with their own mentality, the words that they speak. Okay, and they're trying to flip the script. They're still desperately making attempts to try and project themselves onto you because they don't have anything else. They don't have any other material to work with. Period. Like these are very small-minded individuals, and the reason why they're small-minded, they allow themselves to become stunted by their own traumas. They allow themselves to become stunted by their interactions and run-ins with people who've done them wrong. Okay, some of these people, this could be their own family curses, generational curses, or people that they've aligned with, communities that they've aligned with. Okay, ah, my goodness, yeah. So, and let me say this. I want to say this too because it all matters, right? So there's something significant about energies that could have a lot of money. Okay, they could have the body, they could have a lot of money, the body. They could be involving themselves with partners. Okay, they could be sexually involved with multiple partners. This could be energies that can be kind of detached or cold when it comes to like the wrong shit, though. It's like this somebody, their detachment and their coldness is at their expense. These are people who would big themselves up, who would try to make something toxic seem like it's maturity when it's the complete opposite. You're a sellout. You sold yourself out. The reality is that you're weak minded. You're weak spirited. That's the reality. Now, I'm gonna give y'all an example, right? This is somebody, let's say, and there's nothing wrong with spoiling your partner, okay? As a female, there's nothing wrong with that. But okay, let's say you, as the insightful high priestess, high priest energy, you can clearly see a relationship dynamic where the masculine is using the feminine. Like it's obvious. He's only there to use the feminine because the feminine got all this money. She leaves with her money and her materials. She's always like buying this person or spoiling this person and buying this person these nice things. This masculine is always trying to impress social media or impress the world with her things. Okay, let's say she has the nice cars. He want to stand and take pictures in front of her cars and shit, post it on social media. Don't acknowledge that he's involved with her for real on social media, but he want to impress the bitches on social media with her shit. And she steady bossing him up. But somehow she's getting this false sense of confidence and empowerment by bossing up this masculine who's literally only using her, who's literally, his loyalty is based on the fact that she's a simp. She's simping with him regardless of what narrative she tells herself or others. Let's say you're the person on the outside who sees this clearly, right? There's cheating going on, or there's no real loyalty going on. Even if there's a brief separation, there's no real foundation between these people. Somebody hates the fact that when you involve yourself with somebody, these people generally do love you. When you really involve yourself with someone, like on a romantic level, it's not just some surface level shit. Like these are people who fall in love with you because of your intuitive insights, because you're spiritually aware and inclined, okay? Because you're not out here recklessly moving through life. And you're beautiful simultaneously. Like you're also giving this snack energy, right? And you have something of value, you have something of substance to offer that's beyond the material world, okay? That's beyond this earthly realm. Again, in the caption I put, you are 100% proof of what it means to be in this world but not of it. Why? Because how is it that despite things that were meant to literally break you, why is it that you're still confident? Why are you still confident in yourself? Why do you still have this ambition to press forward? Right? Why, like, why are you still able to encourage yourself? Like, what is motivating you? Like, why are you not conflicted and stuck on this and ruminating and obsessing over me because of what I'm doing to you? Because collective, you have the sound perspective of why these people are even coming up against you. First of all, looking at your own life. What is it that you're doing to what is it that you're doing to trigger any type of demonic reaction? Nothing at all. That's enough proof for you. That's enough proof. That's enough guidance for you to understand that anybody that's coming at you on some evil intent, evil intentions and stuff like that, that has everything to do with them and not you. These are people who want you to feel like there's something wrong with you or there's something that you're doing, not doing. There's something about you for you to be triggering their demons. Like, this is a whole little switch and bait switcheroo that's just constantly failing. They can't get you to digest this as your identity. They want you to vomit up your true identity in God for an identity that they're constantly trying to force upon you, and you're not allowing it. You're just simply not allowing it. So what happens? That identity, everything that their quote unquote diagnoses, all these things that they have said and projected towards your image, they're being viewed as the person who truly has that identity and that image. The hater, right? The person who's jealous, the person who's really a bitch, the person who's really bitter, the person who's, resentful, okay? The person who has a problem, who can't forgive, who can't even forgive themselves. Like, another reason why you're so strong, okay, Another reason you're so strong is because you don't put yourself in situations that makes it hard for you to look at yourself in the mirror, right? You don't put yourself or you don't respond the way they want you to respond so that you start, like you become susceptible to those darker thoughts about yourself. Like, it's that energy of like when people get suicidal ideation, suicidal thoughts, or um, talking down on themselves and belittling themselves, like even in the smallest ways, like talking negative to themselves. Like this is what this pressure, so to speak, these people wanted you to ultimately become your own oppressor. And it's just not happening. Why? Being that you are yourself and you're living your own life, you know what you do. You know your impact and your influence in the real world and real life and real time throughout your journey here. You know the positive impact that you've been making. You even the positive feedback. This would be so despite the gossip, despite the slander, despite all that shit, you still it's inevitable for you to get positive feedback for the soul expression that you are in this world. Period. And it's inevitable because you're so set apart. It's inevitable for you to still be complimented, for you to still get positive feedback. Okay, for people to still express gratitude towards you. And it's crazy too. It's like this is from a lot of the times it's from people that you don't even like really know like that, or strangers. And you have people who do know you well enough, even the ones who switched up on you, even the ones who allow their jealousy to bait them into wishing ill on you or wishing for your downfall or something like that. Finding themselves trying to compete with you, like one-sided competitions and shit. Like, but then they're met with all the shit that you've done for them, the times that you were there for them in a way that nobody else were, the times that certain conversations that they had with you, they never had any type of talks, sound counsel, or conversation with others in the same way, at the same capacity to really, uplift them, empower them, encourage them. These are energies who feel conflicted because they honestly deep down wanted to disempower you or even made attempts to disempower you, even though the whole time they know that you genuinely said things or moved in a way to empower them, to uplift them. Like there's something about people being triggered by you not being a hater, like you not being jealous, envious about nothing they got going on, nothing they have. And these are people who wanted you so desperately to be jealous of what they have, who they know, where they are, what they've done, and you're simply not. Oh my God. These are people who spend too much time focused on you, collective. They spend too much time obsessing over your life, over your journey, over your path, over your becoming. And they feel conflicted because you're not as invested in their life as they are in yours. And they feel conflicted by this. So anyway, let's get into so what was the goal, right? The goal, they wanted you to settle for surface level connections, okay? You got beauty, commitment, trauma bond, Knight of Wands, right? They wanted you to give up on, like, for some of you guys could be celibate, you could be abstinent, or you could just be kind of stingy with your energy. Okay, like you can be very reserved. Okay, it's given like a preservative. Like there's something significant about you constantly changing as well, like your appearance, like constantly improving, or something about changes that you've gone through and changes that when sitting in meditation, looking over memories and looking over photos and thinking about where you are, where you were at the time of where were you 2021? Who was you around? Who was you around? Who was around you? And how did it impact your appearance? How did it impact your life satisfaction? Right? There's something about you really sitting with this and reflecting over this and seeing the difference when you disconnect or detach from certain people, communities, environments, and seeing how that impacts your appearance, your vessel. There's something about your vessel improving. Okay. Yeah. So there was a lot of attacks. There was a lot of there was a lot of negative projections or spells, okay, dark castings towards your appearance, your attraction, okay, your attractiveness with beauty here. Yeah. But new plan, right? The new plan is that this isn't working. The What's actually happening is your whole body alchemizing, you transmuting the bullshit, and so you're becoming more beautiful, you're becoming more attractive, you're becoming more there's your intensity, there's something about your intensity increasing as well. Okay. So because they couldn't affect your appearance, okay, they couldn't make you this big back, they couldn't make you ugly, break out and warts, boils, all this bullshit, smelly, all the shit that they're dealing with right now, by the way. Let's say that. So now the new plan was, well, since we can't impact your appearance and how you view yourself, now they're trying to manipulate, or they've been trying to manipulate um your love life in a sense of wanting you to be in trauma bonded connections or like loveless connections or commit to that. They want you to settle, okay, for low vibrational connections. Okay. This is somebody who also feels intimidated by your ability to be alone and be in solitude. Okay. And literally like be okay with being in solitude until you attract, or that relationship that you would desire aligns. Somebody feels conflicted or intimidated by that. This is somebody who is constantly seeking validation, like through shallow hookups and shit like that. This is what they wanted for you, and this was the narrative that they was putting out. So this is why they're so desperately paying for magic, or trying to manipulate things or manipulate your energy. This something about mirror magic could be significant as well, or constantly trying to swap with you. Okay. So to further clarify, what is it? What was the goal, right? So they want you to be in shallow connection. They want you to settle for the shit that they settle for, right? Now you got open heart, the devil, Three of Cups, Two of Pentacles, pain. They want you to open up to shallow, toxic, low vibrational, sex crazed, toxic, hateful sex, hatred, bitterness. This is what they want you to settle for, because that's what they've settled for. Hmm. Yeah, that's what they're in alignment with. You got pain, apprehensive, afraid, cautious. Like they want you to be in fear. Okay, yeah, of being juggled, okay, of not experiencing real devotion and commitment, real love and shit like that. Like that shit is crazy. They want you to be receptive, okay, and vulnerable to demonic energy when it comes to connections and bonds, okay. All right, so that's pretty straight to the point. So I'm not gonna over explain that. Okay. Now, I will say, after I pull those cards, what was on the bottom of the deck was literally the opposite of what they want you to submit to. So the opposite that came out here, you got apology, possibilities, twin flame, loyalty, Queen of Swords, soulmate. This is somebody who wanted to take you out of this path of like true love or divine partnership, okay, divine connection. Like they wanted you to submit to that low vibrational bullshit that so many people find themselves caught up in, okay. This is what so literally what's on the other side of this, and they see it too, is the loyalty you deserve, your loyalty being returned. Like this has a lot to do with you being in a Queen of Swords, King of Swords energy. Like I'm getting feminines and masculines, right? This has a lot to do with your boundaries. These are people who are conflicted by your boundaries because what is attracting for you, what is aligning you with. Sit down. You see those cards right there? So why would you come right there? Make it make sense. Thank you. All right. Queen of Swords, King of Swords. Shaking my head. It's like this is also somebody was trying to push you in this vengeful energy, but they wanted you to take revenge by using your body. They wanted you to take revenge at your expense, okay? Depleting your value and your worth. Like, okay, this is like, oh, wanting you to feel like, oh, you can't trust nobody and da 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 da, and this is how everybody is. This is all that's out there, so that you will give in and you be a hoe. You be a bop. You be a thought pocket. You be a slut bucket. Like this is what they wanted you to submit to, but you're still in this Queen of Swords, King of Swords energy. You're still stern on them hoes. Like focused. That's what I'm getting to. You're focused on bigger things. Yeah. Yeah. There's something about wanting you to be saturated with people or saturated with connections and feel like you have to prove or seek the validation or constantly be in this loop of trying to prove something or impress these people. And it's like, these people not God. Huh? It don't no. Y'all got it backwards. You guys actually are doing it the way that God intended. Again, this is why I say you are 100% proof of what it is to be in the world, but not of it. All this that they do, all this investments that they make to impress or get the approval, validation from people, your energy, you make these investments toward the divine to get this approval, this validation, have doors be open for you, receive blessings, receive security and protection, receive level ups by impressing God, the divine, your spirit team, your divine ancestors, your lineage. You're somebody who's consciously aware of your like what your presence, what the mark that you leave, okay, the impact that it makes not only on your lineage but your legacy. Okay, you're somebody who's conscious about that on a soul level and a psychological level. It's inevitable for you to reap what you sow. Okay, these are people who want you to get mad or want you to get tired, want to exhaust you from being in this loving energy, maintaining this loving frequency. They want you to become exhausted. That's why they keep having you being met with this gaslit energy. Like people love bombing you and then switching up and gaslighting you. Love bombing you, switching up and gaslighting you. Love bombing you, switching up and gaslighting you. Because ultimately, they want you to be so confused by that. They want you to be in this two of swords, this stunted energy. They want you to be stunted at some type of psychological moment or like some type of trauma. Okay, stuck at an age psychologically. They want you to be stunted in your evolution, your soul growth. Okay, and it's not working. The strength card. So some of you guys, they could be twin flame energies. I know twin flame can be beyond like a romantic connection, but there is a romantic connection out here. Okay. Somebody wanted to eliminate the possibilities of some type of mending of souls here with apology. You got forgiveness, return, sorry, possibilities, free spirited, adventure, risk, twin flame, mirroring, shared feelings, okay? And reflection, loyalty, trusting, reliability, believing, soulmates, deep love, unity, and connection. All these cards are in the upright. So they wanted to eliminate the possibilities of a return of twin flames or soulmates. Um, they wanted to eliminate the possibility of two people being loyal, being devout, or you even aligning with a connection or connections where there's true loyalty, okay, where there's true accountability, even if there are some type of conflict, okay, in between. Because I mean, we're all our own selves, right? So sometimes there will be disagreements, okay? But there could be people who are like twin flames or soulmates, or a soulmate who wants your forgiveness, who wants to return, who wants to apologize, okay? But they understand the risk, okay? Because you're somebody who's free spirited. Again, you got trapped in a reverse, running in the reverse, shadow in a reverse. You're somebody who likes to face things head on. So anybody who wants a genuine connection with you, anybody who truly wants your forgiveness or who wants to get back in with you, who wants to return, they know that they have to be honest. They have to be honest because they know that you're going to confront the elephant in the room. before they even like. And that's literally what it is. It's given like, what's the password? The password is confess. You want to get back in? Confess. You want to get back in? Tell me the truth of what happened. Tell me the truth of what you done. Tell me what you said. Tell me the truth about your participation. Queen of Swords. If you want to get back in, that's the reality of your energy. So this has a lot to do with your authority as well. Like, there could be somebody who wanted to be viewed as above you or better than you, or wanted you to be perceived as beneath them, but this person don't have any real boundaries. It's somebody who they're too insecure to maintain real boundaries, especially when it comes to their sexual, like, Lord have mercy. So anyway, despite that, how is this soulmate how is this soulmate viewing you, collective? There's somebody who's reaching some type of breaking point. There's somebody who's clinging on to your energy. You got breaking point, limit, final straw, overwhelmed. This person could be very overwhelmed by your stance because you're so strong. Lord have mercy. Clinging. There's somebody who's holding on to you, who's obsessing over your energy, who's possibly even spying. There's somebody who wants a second chance, reconciliation, making amends, opportunity. You got Eight of Pentacles, King of Swords. So this could be an air sign. This person could have a significant Aquarius, Libra, Gemini placement. You got the World card. The Lover's card. Somebody wants a new cycle with you. I'm telling you. The Ace of Cups. The Ten of Cups. Obsession. And y'all, I'm telling you, this doesn't have to just be a romantic connection. This could be people who genuinely do, like, they miss your love. They love you. They care for you. Okay. They miss how you care for them. They miss how you love on them. This could be family with the Ten of Cups here as well. Okay. But it's a lot of love here. So that's the reality. Like, I'm telling you, somebody with all this darkness that these people were constantly throwing your way, I'm telling you, all they did was make you stand out even more. This literally did the complete opposite of what the goal was for them. These are people who wanted to, um, Lord, I couldn't even say the right thing just now. I'm gonna tell you what I was about to say. These are people who wanted to pollute your energy on every level. They wanted to pollute your image or your energy, your mindset, anything that they could possibly pollute, okay? That has you set apart. These are people who actually increase those things, who actually add. These are people who are working for you. These are your workers. Let's be very clear. These are your workers, workers of iniquity. Even if it was down to, oh, okay, let's say, boom. I don't have no shame about what motherfuckers who choose to be evil in my life and their decisions. I don't have no shame about it. I have these dreams for a fucking reason. So let me tell you. I keep repeating this dream. The guy I was dealing with, he was surrounded by a community of people. We was in this tall ass house. It was like a tower, right? We was in this house, and he and these people, these groups of people, was on the bottom floor. He was dressed in black and white, literally down the middle. One side was black, the other side was white. Okay. A few stairs or a few floors above those group of people was this karmic feminine who's been targeting me behind the scenes, playing victim, doing whatever type of dark emotional manipulation this bitch could possibly do with her hating ass. Like, to be put on a pedestal, or to eliminate me, whatever the fuck. I really don't give a fuck. But the point is, who was on the highest floor in the dream? I was, overseeing all of these bitches, seeing her who was several floors beneath me, and them motherfuckers who were several floors beneath her. I'm seeing the whole thing going on. I'm seeing the whole plots being orchestrated. Motherfuckers talking down on my name, don't even know me, never have a conversation with me or none of that shit. Right? So boom, after getting the tea, they don't see me seeing them. I'm getting the tea, right? Being the one that God is giving the dreams, God is giving the visions, the one who has the intuitive insight. So I bust the whole thing down by speaking the truth. I reveal myself to these motherfuckers and tell the truth, not only about me, but about them. And just boom, boom, all that shit that y'all try to mask with veils, and y'all try to put me on the spotlight to hide y'all bullshit and hide y'all hands and what the fuck y'all doing behind the scenes and what the fuck y'all trying to do to the masculine I was involved with. Yeah, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and expose that too. That's the whole reason why all y'all coming up against me, right? Because I'm exposing shit, right? What came out on the spread? Simp, The Sun card, Five of Swords, Pharaoh, spying in the reverse, podcasting it upright. They got a problem with you revealing who they actually are. They got a problem with you exposing their plots and schemes. They got a problem with the fact that they can't continue on with these dark manipulations with your light in the room. And even though they've done and told all these lies and everything, some of you guys, there's been AI generated photos, videos. Like these are people who really had to do a lie because your light shines so bright. Even when you're not, you could be somebody who don't even mind being in the background. But even when you're in the background, motherfuckers want to pull you to the front. You can be that type of vibe. Okay, you shine in the front or the back. It don't matter because your light is genuine. Your light is genuine, and nobody can intimidate you to the point of hiding away. These are people who thought that somebody confused your hermit energy with thinking that they were actually overpowering you. Bitch, you could never. Bitch, this is who I am. Bitch, this is a part of why the fact. This is why. This is a part of why I'm so attuned. This is part of why I'm so inclined. This has been me since I was a child. I always, I always retreat into myself. Some of you guys could be like gamers as well. Some of you guys could be gamers. Like you could be somebody who's very content with me time, but also you get along with different diversities of people, like diverse communities. Like you're very adaptable. Like you're very alluring. Okay. And understanding that about yourself, you're somebody who does need that time alone. You need that time in solitude. This is how you maintain your balance, right? This is how you sort through whatever confusion that's constantly being casted over your name. Okay, this is how you're able to pray these very intentional and direct prayers to the pulling down of strongholds. Period. Excuse me. Tell me why a cult leader is out here on the spread, y'all. Okay. Okay. So let's get into what this cult leader was supposed to do. So so the cult leader came out in regards to what was the most recent attack launched upon you. In the most recent, you got judgment in the reverse, curse in the upright, self-care, heart fog, right? And to clarify self-care, you have distance, and you also have cult leader that came out. Okay. Now, a leader typically has minions or people who are underneath them. Okay. A leader can also be viewed as like somebody who's supposed to be powerful than the rest, somebody who's supposed to be a strong enemy or whatever. Like these were people who were so desperate that they could have recruited like literally a witch doctor or try to pay like some type of voodoo priestess or voodoo priest or whatever. Like I'm even seeing and hearing Ifa. Okay. Um, so they wanted you to be cursed with some type of negative judgment, okay, of who you are. They wanted to curse your self-care routine or your ability to care for yourself, like whatever it is that's helping you maintain. These are people who feel like if they can curse your self-care, this will make you less appealing, less attractive, especially to a soulmate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, clarifying self care, you have distance, which is separation, space, and blockage. They wanted to separate you from your self care routine or you caring for yourself. They wanted to put space between here. They wanted to block your ability to do so. Okay. Hexing your self care, your security. You got hex, witchcraft, and negative mind. See, this is why I was picking up on mirror magic too. So I made a video like a couple years ago where I said ultimately the only way they can defeat a chosen one is to turn that chosen one against themselves, to get you to start speaking negative towards yourself as a result of you being so overwhelmed by external conflicts, right? people coming at you sideways. They wanted you to question who you are, and then start you listen. Let's just be all the way transparent. Is that not a thing when heavily under spiritual warfare? Is that not a thing? It is. It clearly is. Why else do people get to the point of committing suicide? And it's a very touchy topic because especially as divine feminines and divine masculines, we naturally hold that father frequency, that mother frequency. So even if it's like children that are not ours, we deeply empathize with that whenever we hear these stories of kids, teens, preteens, adolescents being bullied to the point of them wanting to take their own lives, to them even being. Do y'all understand the possession for a child, for a teenager to follow through with taking their own lives? And it makes me emotional, and it generates this divine rage within me because of the lack of responsibility and accountability of adults and what they're raising, what they are exposing their own children and teenagers to, the lack of presence and involvement and true investment in their seeds. People literally raising and creating vessels that are susceptible to demonic energy that then target gifted children. I got a problem with that. And I know for a fact that other divine feminines and masculines resonate with me when it comes to that energy, like that strong maternal energy, that strong paternal energy that you have. Like, and this is an energy that we embody that not only spreads amongst like children, babies, and adolescents and teenagers and stuff like that, but anybody who we see as vulnerable, innocent, who's being targeted for some as some type of sacrifice and shit. You guys are the type of energies that stand up to bullies, even if the bully ain't bold enough to really fuck with you. But you're not just gonna stand on the side. You're not just gonna join everybody else and laugh and point fingers and shit. With the bully that's bullying somebody that they're truly jealous of, that they're actually envious of, that they actually secretly admire. And in most cases, people who bully, they pick somebody who they feel like is an unsuspecting victim. This is why people had to attack you behind the scenes, collective. These are people who can't even admit, they don't even have any information, any true valid information as to why they come up against you, why they betray you, because the explanation is simply that they're jealous. I ain't making this shit up. It's out here on the spread. Let's look into this karmic energy here who's obsessed with you. Let's look into how people are viewing this person now. Okay? And it's a lot of cards that came out. You got bitch. Can I turn the camera on? Turn the camera on. I can't show y'all me though, because I can't show y'all me right now. Because I am not dressed appropriately for this video. Let me see. Bitch. Jealous. This is how this person or how these people are being perceived. Jealous bitches. Bitch made and jealous. Yep. Yep. And you want to know what's happening? People are walking away from them. People are walking away. Okay. This could even be people walking away from a person or a group who's in this energy, or they're walking away from their own energy, understanding that they're simply being jealous and that they're bitch made. Okay, whatever actions that they've taken, these are people who want to separate from that energy now. But there's definitely energy separating from, okay, I'm definitely getting a karmic feminine. All right, I'm about to turn this back off. Want nobody in my business. All right. Cloudy judgment, illusions, unbalanced, distorted. This is somebody who's being perceived as somebody who's unbalanced, who's distorted. Okay. They're exhausted with this person. They're feeling depleted and drained by this person. Okay. There's something about somebody trying to drag something out with you. Okay. And these people are walking away. These people are abandoning this person. They're abandoning whatever this is. This person is being perceived as a red flag. This even be what's being communicated amongst a group of people or several individuals. Okay, they're talking about the red flags of whoever this person is. Okay, a karmic feminine, karmic masculine, don't matter. Okay. It's somebody who's stressed. This person is stressing. This person is stressing. This could be somebody who's feeling shattered, heartbroken, and destroyed now. There's somebody who thought they was going to destroy you behind the scenes. And that's what's so fucked up about it, right? A lot of this was behind the scenes attacks, all right? So not only did you defeat your enemies by yourself, and now let me be clear when I say by yourself. When I say by yourself, this is without other humans. These are people who thought because they had each other, humans, and it was all of them against you, that they were going to get away with whatever this was. They were going to get away with sacrificing you. They was going to get away with eliminating or destroying some type of connection or the possibility of some type of legacy here, because it's given that it's beyond a connection. It's beyond a connection. This has something to do with legacy. This has something to do with like true success according to the divine. Like this has something to do with the light being shined on people's toxicity that's been latching or clinging on or trying to cling on to a soulmate here, or I don't know, like people who are moving out of this leech sacrificial host parasitic energy. Okay, that's what it's giving. There's something about you freeing the host, you helping the host see what exactly the fuck is going on. Okay, clarifying their intuition, their dreams, their visions, helping provide truth to them and clarity from the obscurity, from the confusion that they're constantly being met with as well. And what is the relationship between a host and a parasite? The parasite feeds and sustains itself off of the host. Okay. My. So you have a soulmate here who's admiring you being in this 9 of Pentacles energy, self-sustaining, self-sufficient, doing something on your own, maintaining yourself, standing up for yourself by yourself. And again, you still have the divine, you still have those thousands of angels assigned to you. You still have your divine ancestors, okay, who you honor, who you respect their lives, you respect their sacrifices, you respect their souls, okay? And you continue on the best traits and abilities about them. You bring out the best traits and abilities within the bloodlines, right? You make sure that those things that God has infused into those bloodlines, you make sure those things don't get lost in the sauce, lost in the trauma, lost in the betrayals, lost. You keep the things of divinity within your bloodlines alive. You guys can even have a reputation of doing this from lifetime to lifetime. Okay. Lord have mercy. So this is somebody who's hoping to have some type of future with you. You got the 3 of Wands and the 4 of Wands. Okay. This could be somebody that's like hoping, wishing, praying, daydreaming, okay, for some type of stability, to come into some type of stable arrangement with you in the future. This could be somebody who wants to offer you something with the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so not something too big. This could be somebody who knows that they owe you an apology. So they could definitely be wanting to start something off small or slow. And you guys are definitely in this well, I just started hearing Yo Gotti fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck, tell a hater I said fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. To the bitches I said. Oh boy, hear that song is so long. Haters, get niggas mad at the paper. They get in 20 acres. Like, I'm telling y'all, this is the lifestyle that you guys have manifested, that you guys are manifesting. They're just trying to get you to take yourself out before it fully comes in, yo. Like, this is crazy. So fuck you by Yo Gotti is definitely significant, okay? Now, you got Page of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Four of Wands. Everything is fine. So the everything is fine card in the modern witch tarot deck is the Ten of Swords. Okay. So even despite everything that they've done to you, like this is shit that typically takes people out. Everything that is possible, like I'm talking about setting you up, but you being 10 steps ahead so the setup don't follow through. Like you your prayers reaching the divine, you know, you having the most powerful angels on your team that literally, like when it comes to energetic wars, literally taking that energy that these people are paying for, casting, conjuring jars, and literally putting their literally assigning and attaching their energy to the shit that they're trying to do to you. You have the ability to, you whooping these people's asses by yourself by simply using the weapons that they're trying to send to you by returning it back to them. Nah, I'm good. That's your shit. You keep that. And why are you able to do this? Is because you're keeping yourself innocent when it comes to God. You're not betraying God to prove a point. You're not betraying God to avenge yourself. You're allowing God to avenge you. You're actually being obedient to God. And so God is fighting your battles. Archangel Michael is fighting your battles. Your angels, your divine ancestors, they're fighting your battles. And you want to hear something else too? Their divine ancestors, these people coming up against their divine ancestors are fighting on your behalf as well. There's something about somebody, you know, feeling conflicted by how much protection you got, but they're adding to your protection by forfeiting theirs. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if it's their granddaughter, grandson, daughter, son. If that ancestor is truly a divine being, they are not going to support bullshit, but instead they're going to scold, they're going to edify their own their own blood. And that's just that. And if that edification, if them being corrected has to come through them protecting you instead, then so be it. I mean, damn, do we need to have a spiritual science class? Like, what, like, I'm not, do we? Do we? And it's so crazy, y'all. It's like, even if at times you get irritable, you get frustrated, because you literally don't deserve the bullshit that these people are doing. Like you get frustrated and irritable by how weak spirited people can be, how weak spirited people are when it's like, yo, the same shit that you hate on a divine being about, you know, if you just lock in with a divine for real, and not for a trend, not for an image, not for a look, not using God like he's the new Prada bag, but actually being sincere in your connection, you do realize that the things that you really admire yet hate about collective, you had, and it's the reason why I'm saying you had the same opportunity to obtain those things righteously. But honestly, thinking that you're just going to sacrifice or steal or swap that shit from somebody who's in the upright with God, you're delusional. You're absolutely delusional. And these are people who are so brittle. These are people who can be broken with words. Words. And this is why they use this so heavily with you. This is why, like, for example, y'all see people who are divine beings, you know, who have social media platforms, videos, lives, and stuff like that. And this is why people jump in their chats and their comments, and they're just spewing out just spewing out like just toxic demonic words and statements and judgments unnecessarily, okay? Because these are the things that actually weaken, tear them apart, destroy them, make them bitter. They don't know, and this is why they feel so confident and constantly doing it. They feel so confident in that because that's the shit that broke them. They're weak as fuck. Damn, like they want you to be confused about how you're accurately perceiving their actions. And like, yo, this shit is sad, bruh. That shit is sad, but you don't feel sad for them at all. It's like you understand the dynamics and you know why so many people fall into that energy. But have sympathy for what? Why would the fuck would you have sympathy for somebody that's trying to kill you? Have sympathy for somebody that's trying to make you sick, okay? That's trying to kill, steal, and destroy your life for you. Fuck you. Like, fuck you, bro. Like, damn. Like, these are people who want to matter so much in your life and they don't. Like, I'm sorry, like, devilish energy. No, it don't matter. It don't. It don't. It don't. Are we aware of it? Yes, that's just being responsible. God damn. Lord have mercy. So we also had the Seven of Wands and the Two of Cups come out here. I'm trying to remember what question I asked for those cards. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. So we had another set of cards that came out. I want to say this is a part of the question. What is it about you that these people hate or that these people are triggered by or that's motivating them to come up against you like this? So we had the Fool card, Confessions, Influencer in the upright, Stay in your lane in the upright, Influences in the reverse. Okay, so you have the kind of influence that God blesses. You don't abuse your influence. You don't use your influence to pollute people. You use your influence to free people from the traps that people are constantly trying to put them in. Okay, you influence people positively by telling the truth, or like even sharing moments from your life, or sharing your intuitive insights. Okay, with this Confessions card, you got unveiling, coming clean messages, right? Stay in your lane. Influences in the reverse. It says attachments, third parties, and peers. So there's somebody here, they influence people by with dark influences, okay? And this is why they feel like you're problematic. You're problematic because you do the complete opposite. Like, you actually encourage people to want to do better for themselves, to want to give up the liquor, give up the weed, give up the hoish ass lifestyle, give up the plotting and moving shiesty and all that shit. Like, or letting people know that it's okay to separate themselves from toxic arrangements, even if it is family. Like, teaching people how to really preserve their energy and being an example. Like, you influence people in that way to move closer or to be more codependent to God than they are to these toxic third parties. And there's nothing wrong with connections. There's nothing wrong with your peers and third parties. But if they are in the reverse, you are supposed to depart from that. Just like God said, depart from evil. If anybody is confused by what God says, what God means, you have the ability to influence people with the truth, to give comprehension and understanding of what God means by these words. Depart from evil. Separate the wheat from the tares. You will reap what you sow. I'm even thinking about the parable, which parable is that? There's something about you having like a deep understanding, or like you know how to simply explain or help people comprehend parables. Like, you have this type of deep insight, understanding, overstanding, right? And this is why you're so strong. Yeah, I just heard that. So the parable, before I move to the next statement, the parable that I'm thinking about, it's the parable that talks about the seeds, some of the seeds that's falling on thorns, and some of the seeds that's falling on like hard rock or something like that. I can't think of what the parable is called. Oh my God. Oh, what is the parable called? It's not parable of the talents, because parable of the talents is when the Lord came and gave I want to say like 5 different men a portion um of gold or something like that, and they were told to go out in the world and multiply what they were given. And when the Lord returns, he's going to check and see if they actually obeyed, if they actually put in the effort. Okay. So, and there was that one person, because they were only given one piece of gold, he went and hid his piece of gold because he was feeling insecure at the fact that others had more than him or started off with more, opposed to honoring what they were told to do with that. They disobeyed, and they allowed insecurities and resentment and bitterness to cause them to put their gift away or to hide it. Even getting this like poverty like mentality, like which is in opposition to God, by the way. Like let's say that, like, a poverty mentality is in opposition of God. God being an abundant God, the creator of all creators, right? Every creator that you see, every invention, every innovation that you see, it starts with God first. God is the source. So this is somebody, ultimately, right? The understanding of that is that it's somebody who doubted God. If you want a good example that conflicts, that is David and Goliath. Even though there was an army of grown ass men shielded up and everything, when they were met with this giant, they were all in fear and submission to this giant, even though the whole point of them being this army and this military men was to defeat this fucking giant who's obviously being a nuisance. But they let this giant overpower them because of how they perceived this giant to be more powerful or all powerful than them above God. These are people who were disconnected with God. But David was connected with God. And the reason why David was small in stature, why he was younger compared to these military men shielded up, he ain't have no shields on, nothing. His shield was God. He had what? We know what David used to take down Goliath. Real simple. It didn't even take a whole lot of effort. It took a whole lot of God. That's the point. That's the fucking point. And that's the example. That's the impression. That's the impact. That's the influence that divine beings are leaving in this world. Period. And if these people who choose to be any obstruction, be in opposition to you, they're choosing to be opposition to God. So if that means they got to get ran over, moved out the way, God give it, God take it away, then so be it. But what's not going to happen is them removing you from this world or from this planet when you're doing what God wanted you to do, what you're supposed to do. What the hell? When you're helping free people, like I made this funny little song, and I think I said something along the lines of how you confident when some fuck shit going on? How you be so how you confident even when shit going wrong? How you be so calm when some fuck shit going on? Girl, that man talking real dirty on your name. He not looking too good, but he said you was to blame. He not the same. What I said after that? I said something along the lines of how you freeing others like you Dora the Explorer. Damn, I can't remember the fucking words. I know I said something about, and I had just made this song. That's why it's not really coming to me. Because I make a lot of songs in the spare moment. But I said something along the lines of, I said some people can be so cruel, they'll take you through there. You did that shit, yeah. You showed them how to do that. You inspirational for real though. What I say? You inspirational for real though. Your haters really should have been taking notes. And then I responded. And I said, you know they did though. I said, don't need your permission. Dang, I can't remember. I'm gonna post a snippet of it. Damn. Let me see, because I really want to, because I heard before I even started this reading that those words had a lot to do to post that song for y'all, because I'm about to try my best. I'm about to try my best to recite these words. But it is new, so I don't know if I will. So the song is called God in all caps. So basically, I'm being asked these questions of how people, the things that people generally deal with in warfare. I'm being met with this warfare, but I'm succeeding over my enemies, right? So I'm being asked these series of questions, and my response is basically because I'm so saturated in God. That's my how. My how is God, right? So I start off the song and I was like, come on in if you really want the bag, if you really want to talk, if you really want to go, if you really want to fly, all you gotta do is get big, 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 big. All you gotta do is get real big, big, big in God. Get real big, big, big in God. And I got a real, hello, get real big, big, big in God. Get real big, big, big in God. Yada, why they always coming at you so hard? Cause I'm real big, big, big in God. And I got a real big, big, big old heart. And I got a real big spot in his heart. How you confident when some fuck shit going on? How you sit some calm? No. How you confident even when shit going wrong? How you sit so calm when some fuck shit going on? That man talking real dirty on your name. He not looking too good, but he said you was the problem. He not the same. How you keep your soul even when they paying for it? How you freeing others like you Dora the Explorer? They did some wild shit to you, but you still moving. They did some wild shit to you, but you still moving forward. Dang, you stronger than many. What I said, they did some wild shit to you, but you still moving forward. Dang, I know I said something along the lines of, you stronger than many. Some people can be so cruel, they'll take you through that. You did that shit though. You showed them how to do that. You inspirational for real though. You a real friend. Your haters should have really been taking notes. You know they did though. And then I said, don't need your permission. Don't need your permission. Always being edified. I'm on a mission. I'm the one with the plan, yeah, the one with the vision. Ah, hell of a game changer with done with precision. That's why my haters want to create friction. They want mind control over me, feel me, with indecision, but that's not their decision. So that's literally the reality of your life, divine beings. So I'm telling you, any recent attack, anybody who's recently switched up on you, it don't matter. It's like literally you guys are locked in with seeing this shit for what the fuck it is. And that's just that. Like they can't trick you. They can't trick you out of your spot with the divine. They can't trick you out of your blessings that's in alignment for you. Okay. And that's really what it's been. Like these are people who literally have been trying to play God, who's been trying to persecute you. I've been channeling a lot about Jesus's crucifixion as well. Like you could have literally experienced something like a crucifixion. You being persecuted while you were innocent the entire fucking time, while you also helped people, saved people, freed people, exorcised people like from certain demons and mentalities and crippling mentalities. Like you guys have been doing what the fuck you're supposed to do, and you were met with persecution. Like and even in that persecution, even in that crucifixion, you still didn't give your soul up to the devil. You commended your soul to God. This is why you are embodying this legendary unicorn energy, period. Period. And the only thing that you may be picking up on and shit like that is people who are mad, who are angry because they lost. And they're experiencing losses. Everything that they were unsuccessful with manifesting for you in your life, that is their now, that's their fate. That is their reality. And it don't feel good. It don't feel good. Think about the things that were hurtful to you, the betrayals and stuff like that. Think about, the tears that you have cried and the times. Now, imagine that 10 times worse. That is the fate of anybody who has come up against you, who has not made any attempts to confess, who have not made true attempts to speak the truth, to make amends. That is their fate. That is the only way they may possibly escape. Heavy emphasis on possibly. It's not even guaranteed. Period. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's also this energy of you being an example of how to show up, how to act, how to be, even when you don't have the kingdoms of this world, so to speak. You know that whole bargain that Satan was trying to have with Jesus when he was fasting, when he was in the desert. So this is very symbolic imagery that we're supposed to pay closely attention to. He was in a deserted place, right? Little to nothing and with nobody. Just him and God. He didn't even have food. Just him and God. You feel me? And generally, when a person is starving, when they're in starvation or famine, the person is quote unquote very weak, right? So this is why Satan tried to come in and he thought, oh, this would be the best opportunity to try to recruit one of the strongest, one of God's strongest, one of God's chosen ones, on my side. Mind you, this is what he does. This is what, when we think about the fallen angels, it's the same shit, right? He was able to coerce, convince, manipulate these other angels in a moment of weakness to turn against God and worship him. So because of how generally strong you are when you do take good care of yourself, when you eat healthy, when you don't indulge in toxic things, like you're not overindulging in smoking, drinking, partying, sex, shit like that, do you realize how strong you are? Do you realize how strong you are when you are able to maintain a level of discipline that contributes to your overall health? Not even just your physical health, but heavy emphasis on what you do with your body. Heavy emphasis, right? On what you do with and to your body to make sure internally your soul is safe, internally your mind is safe, strong, and sound. You live your life in a fashion that it secures your internal stability. This is why they're always trying to attack things outside of you, whether that be your home, whether that be your finances, your connections, people who's supposed to care for you. This is why they always target what's around you to ultimately get to you or weaken you. So it starts with what's around you, and the goal is to affect your externals, like your body, right? And then after weakening your body, then weakening your mind, your your emotional body, your soul. Is the same tired ass tactic and repetitive dynamic. Is not unpredictable at all. There's nothing unpredictable about a thief who is not the source of creation. God is the source of creation. And this is why you also fucking up your enemies' minds, because God just keep recreating you. He keeps recreating you. He keeps refashioning you, refining you, despite what the fuck they're doing. Whatever they do can never overpower God and what God is doing for you and in your life. That's the point. And if you get any take, let your biggest takeaway from this video be they are not God. And if you remain in God, they can never overthrow you. They can never overpower you. They will always be intimidated. They are already defeated. You have already conquered them. You've already won. You already have the victory. Period. It don't matter how severe something was done to you. You can be mind you, let's think about Jesus. Let's think about Job. You can be Some of you guys have been poisoned. Some of you guys, people have been like bought to poison you, to harm you, to put you in some type of instability and shit like that, to throw you off. I'm telling you, the way you are moving and responding to this is equivalent to Jesus saying to Satan, man should not live on bread alone, but by every word of God, period.